What I think is required is that education as a system and as a district, as a location, as a particular school, needs to build a series of what I'll call lenses to actually see the children in their needs, at the level of their needs. How else can we evolve curriculum except in response to what we're learning about how it's working, right on the edge of when it is working? One of the problems that I feel is going on is that the education system, for the most part, is optimizing itself, that is to say, changing the curriculum content and material that it's using and its approach to teaching based upon a statistical analysis of a contact with children way downstream from the point at which the measurement relates to, which is the in-the-moment experience that the child had of learning from that material. So what I'm saying we need to do is that everywhere possible, when we put something before a child that's learning, we want to put right next to it a way for that child to articulate how that's working for them. Wait a minute, I had a need here that wasn't there. You didn't provide what I needed here. So that every time that child's having these needs we were talked about before, if the system isn't helping them meeting those needs, then it's providing them with a way to articulate those needs so that it flows back to the system and allows the system to evolve in response to actual information about actual learners in actual contact with what's going on. That to the degree that we don't do that, to the degree that our measurement and test systems are way downstream from the point they're referring to, then our whole approach to evolving an education system is based on models, statistics, and assumptions which are not grounded in the actual experiencing of the children that we're trying to educate, trying to facilitate. So first concern for me in the design of technology isn't just that I'm going to create a better, what I'd call loudspeaker or torpedo missile system that's going to fire a blast of content across the big gap between curriculum design to a particular student, but rather a system in which the whole idea of the system is it's a living system. It's a self-optimizing system, and that it is equally concerned with learning about what the learner's needs are as they're in contact with the educational material as it is about their learning about the material. That the moment that we're more concerned with them learning about the material than us learning about their needs in relation to the material, then we're back in a mode of firing missiles. So we have to say, the fundamental job of education is to say, how do we design a learning environment in which we learn how to facilitate learning-oriented people by meeting them on this edge? How do we do it? How do we design the administrative system, the organizational structure, the curriculum itself, our approach to pedagogy, our approach to content, our use of technology, our approach to the way that a classroom is organized, the role of a teacher as a mentor, facilitator rather than informer, so that the whole system starts to learn about the real, moment-to-moment, fluctuating needs of learners, so that it's so as to create the basis through which we can optimize the education system to meet the growth of learners. That's what we're most interested in doing. So it's not just about children, and it is, I mean, that's where our heart is, but it's also about how is it that we make a system change, because as we've been talking about, unless the community creates a different context, the learner's bound. So let's come back. I want to show some technology. I want to talk about some technology, and the point isn't technology. The point is how to develop the kind of relationships we've been describing. How is it that co-equal with our intention to help a learner learn about X, whatever X is, co-equal to our intention as a teacher, as a designer of curriculum content, as somebody who's thinking about how to unfold it pedagogically, how to set up collaboration systems to go into it, how to set up a dialogue or a reflection system to reflect upon it? How is it that that whole system, in its very design and the whole idea of the curriculum and the pedagogy and the classroom and the teacher's function and the use of technology or information resources, how is it that whole thing can be looked at as if it's our learning environment to learn about how to meet the learner? Because I submit if we're not doing that, then we are not moving towards the kind of community that you asked about. That's the definition of the community. Not the definition in any singularly defining sense, but that's the tone, the flavor, and the spirit, I think, that's necessary if we're going to have a community in which learners can grow. That to the extent they're not, then the whole system is, like I said, it's like the loudspeakers broadcasting. And that's not an invitation to learn.